Okay, good day everyone. So let's continue our discussion today. We will be talking about the different sampling techniques. So as you can see in the slides, there are two different kinds of sampling techniques. We have the probability and non-probability. Now, the only difference between probability sampling and non-probability sampling is the concept of randomization. Okay, so sa probability sampling class, you will use random sampling technique or you will randomly select your respondents, while in non-probability sampling, since your respondents are targeted, meaning to say na ano mo criteria daan yung set for your respondents, therefore your sampling technique would not be randomly done since you already have a respondents that you are looking for. Now, first, let us talk about the different kinds of probability sampling techniques. Okay, first, we have here the simple random sampling technique. So, ang kaning simple random sampling technique class, what you are trying to do is from your population, you will just select respondents that are from there. Say for example, sa usabaron ka section, mupili ka og 5 ka buok without considering other stuff. So, mo dito na panghatag ba nila og questionnaire, or you will just randomly select them for an interview. An example of simple random sampling is kanang raffles. Now, the beauty of simple random sampling is that your population is given the equal opportunity or chance to become your respondents. Next, we also have here the stratified random sampling technique. So, stratified random sampling technique, what we do here is, first, we identify or we create a strata or a group. Okay? So, sa stratified random sampling, you will group your respondents depending on stuffs like, say for example, their gender, their age, or their section. And then from these groups, you will randomly select dayon the respondents that are kanang required for your study. Say for example, okay, diri no sa ato ang slide nga nakita. So the study here, the respondents of the study here is from grade 7 up until grade 10. Now, after finding out his required sample size, which is 240, ang gibuhat sa researcher dinhi is iyahang gipangita ang total number of population sa iyahang study, which is 600. Now, the strata here are the year levels of the students. So we have here grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, and then grade 10. Now, to identify the equal or the proper number of the respondents that are required per strata, ang gibuhat ni researcher is ihang gi-divide ang total number ni grade 7 sa total population, which is 600. So as you can see, no, na siya diray 180 divided by 600. Now the quotient for that is 0.30. Ang kaning 0.30, ihan ang i-multiply sa 240, which is the required sample size. So, out from the grade 7, ang buhaton ni respondents is manguha siya nga to randomly og 72 ka estudyante. The same process for the grade 8, grade 9, and grade 10. So, ang nakalahi ra gyud ni simple random og ni stratified random sampling is that sa stratified random sampling, imong subayon daan kung pila ka buok ang respondents nga imong kuhaon per strata, and then kanang if you already have the number, you will just go to this strata directly and then randomly select those respondents. Right? Next, we also have here the cluster sampling. So si cluster sampling, parihas ra siya ni stratified random sampling in a sense nga you will create a group or a cluster out of your respondents. Ang nakalahi lang ganina si stratified random sampling kay naghimo ka og group, unya out from those group mo pili ka randomly og individuals nga himuon nimo nga respondents. But sa cluster sampling, ang mahitabo is naakay gi-group nga mga respondents, and then you will randomly select the groups that you will be choosing. Say for example, naa kay 30 kabuok members sa imong population. You decided nga you want to create 6 groups out of this population. So that's 30 divided by 6. So 30 divided by 6 is equals to 5. Therefore, each group has 5 members. Si group 1, si group 2, until si group 6, kay naa siya'y 5 members each. Now, with this, ang sunod nimong buhaton, mopili na sad ka randomly sa imuhang nahimo nga mga cluster or groups. So, after randomly selecting baron, ingon ka nga, kanang the respondents or the groups that you will be choosing for your study will be group 1, group 4, and group 5. So, what will happen is that kanita ng tao nga naa sa group 1, sa group 4, sa group 5, ang mahimo na nga respondents sa imuhang study. Okay? Now, moving forward, next is si systematic sampling. Si systematic sampling pod, ang imuharang buhaton is kana you will list down or you will gather all of your kanang population, the people who will or who qualifies for your study, and then imuha baron silang i-count off. Say for example, your identified interval baron is 5. So you will count off 1 to 5. So every fifth member or every number 5 sa imong population, siya ang imuhang mahimo nga respondents hangtod sa ma-achieve na nimo ang imuhang total number of sample size. Okay? Now, moving forward, let us now proceed to the non-probability sampling techniques. First, we have here the convenience sampling. Si convenience sampling class, out of all the sampling techniques, this is the easiest. Kaya nga naman, mo siya tinapulan nga sampling technique. Ang imong buhaton, naa kay kanang criteria sa imong mga respondents nga gusto nimong kuhaon. Unya, kung kinsa ray duol nimo or accessible nimo nga mahimo respondents, sila ra ang imuhang kuhaon. Now, the problem with convenience sampling is that it is at risk for selection bias and sampling bias. Kay, as I have said na no, kanang tinapulan man ni si convenience sampling. So, kung ikaw tapulan ka nga researcher, pwede ra sa kagmuana nga, lima ra man kabuk ako nakuha nga respondents, ma'am. So, kanara na sila. In convenience sampling, kay you are not looking for a kanang desired number. Kay, again, kung kinsa ray accessible nimo, kinsa ray duol nimo, maura man na ang imuhang kuhaon as your respondents. Next is ang purposive sampling technique or the judgment sampling. Sa purposive sampling technique pod class, what you do is, naa na kay giset daan nga criteria kung kinsa ra ang appeal sa imong study. Now, with the criteria that you have already laid down for your study, ang imuha ra dayong buhaton, mangita ka sa mga tao nga mo fit ana nga study. Now, if you have already found people who fit for this study, kanina silang tanan ang mahimo nimo nga mga respondents. Okay, so again, if you chose the purposive sampling technique, what you have to do first is to identify or describe the inclusion as well as the exclusion criteria for your study. Because if you do not have a clear inclusion and exclusion of your study, chances are the respondents that you are gathering using the purposive sampling technique will not be the ones that are truly fit for your study. Next is si snowball sampling technique. Kani si snowball sampling technique, we usually use it when kanang we do not know a lot of people or we do not have access to the right individuals or respondents that we need for our study. So ang buhaton sa snowball sampling class is kung naa kay at least usa or duha baron ka mga respondents nga nailhan nga mo fit for your study, sila ang imuhang unahon og survey or undergo og data gathering procedure. Now, after that, ang kaning mga tawhana nga imuhang na survey class kay imo na silang pangutan-on kinsa pa man kaha ang imuhang pwede kanang survey or may interview nga naay parehas gud nila nga karakteristik. Say for example, if my study is about kanang the effects of playing Dota to the social interaction among Dota players no niya. Ako, if I do not have people or I do not know a lot of people who are playing Dota, pero ako uyab mo duwa og Dota. So, ang akong unahon og interview or survey for my study would be ang akong uyab nga Dota player. Now, since katong akong uyab, naaman to siya yung mga kanang kaila nga Dota players, no? So, siya na pod ang akong pangitaan sa iyahang mga ma-recommend nga mga players nga pwede nako ma-survey. Another is kanipong naakag airport. If you are a journalist and you are assigned to interview OFWs, of course, moadto ka og airport. Now, the problem is, dili ka kasiguro nga tanang tao ngadto sa airport kay mga OFWs. So, what you will do is, kung naakay kaila or naakay nahibaw-an nga kani siya kay OFW, that would be the very first person that you will interview or you will survey. Now, after interviewing that person, you will ask that person, kinsa pay imong kaila dinhi nga OFW? Then, if he or she can recommend, katong iyang ipang-recommend, imuha na sa tung duulon for an interview. Now, katong ipang-recommend niya, imuha na sa tung pangayuan og lain nila nga ma-recommend nga mga tao. Therefore, sa snowball class, you start with a very small sample size. And because these sample size recommended other people, your sample size will balloon or it will grow more so that you can establish the reliability of your study more. Okay, next is the quota sampling technique. So, sa quota sampling, this is just like convenient. The difference is that ganina sa convenient class kay wala tay giapas nga number. So kung pila rin na ani mo mao ray imuhang kuha nga respondents. But in quota sampling, you will still use the convenient sampling. Ang imuha rin gyapong surveyhon kay kung kinsa ra ang duol nimo. However, naa na kay number nga kailangan makuha. See, for example, ningon ba karon nga after using the Slubin formula, miss, kay we found out nga ang respondents day nga needed sa amo ang study kay 45 ka buot. Pero wala jud kay access ani nga mga tao, wala kay kaila. So ni ana ka, I will just use the quota sampling technique. So what you will do is mangita kag mga tao kung kinsa man ang duol nimo nga makuha nimo as your respondents and ni fit sa imong criteria. Now dili ka mo stop class sa quota sampling unless naabot na nimo ang imuhang desired number of respondents. Example ani kay kanang mga poll surveys no, pares anang padung na ang election kanang mo na sila nga 10,000 people or 1,000 people were surveyed and these are the results. So, quota sampling siya because they are kanang racing against a number man. Ang ilang apas is that kailangan makaabot ni og 1,000 ka buok tao nga among ma-survey. Another pod ana is if you are the producer of Family Feud, di ba sa Family Feud kay always man nga 100 ka buok ang ilang respondents. So ang ilahasag gyapon gibuhat ana class nangita ra na sila og 100 ka tawo kung kinsa ilang pwede ma-survey or kinsa ang ilang ma-access nga respondents, mao na ang ilahang pangutan-on para muhatag sa mga responses sa ilang questions nga gi-prepare. Okay? And I believe that's the last of the sampling techniques, no? So, again, to kanang summarize, we have two ways in gathering or doing the sampling technique. We have the probability sampling, which uses randomization, and non-probability sampling, where kanang we first identify the criteria that is needed for our study before we gather the respondents. For probability sampling, we have simple random sampling, stratified random sampling, cluster sampling, and purposive sampling. While for non-probability sampling, we have convenience sampling, quota sampling, snowball sampling, and purposive sampling. Okay, now if you still have any questions regarding this discussion, kindly comment it down below in our Google Classroom feed so that I can respond to it. Okay, thank you so much, and please answer the quiz that will follow this one.